Hey guys, it's Rob here. After over a year of owning him, Beach Bear is finally mechanically restored, with no air leaks present and all movements working, for now at least. This was definitely a different restoration experience to Duke/Pasquale, because not only was Beach Bear in much better shape when I got him compared to Duke/Pasquale, but he also came at a time when I had already learned the basics of these bots, mechanically at least. The main things that restoring Beach Bear taught me were the ins and outs of his character mech specifically, and how that differed from a bot like Duke/Pasquale, and also how to rebuild Chicago cylinders, as they have their differences from C&Vs like what Duke/Pasquale used. Just like him, Beach Bear also has a history of his own, which some of you may already know, but for those who don't, I'm going to be going over the history of this bot. Afterward, I'll give an overview of where the bot is currently now that he's mechanically restored, and also what's next for him. Anyways, let's get into the history of my Beach Bear. Our story begins in January of 1983, which was a busy month for CEI. As far as I'm aware, this is the month that saw the most Rock-afire sets created, with at least 49 full sets being made this month. Beach Bear was part of the 49th batch for this month, being one of the last sets made that month. This set would ultimately go unused in a Showbiz Pizza location, but it would eventually be used. In the late 90s, a family entertainment center called Funstation USA came into existence, and multiple of these had Rock-afire explosion shows. This batch in particular would be used at the Sayville, New York location, which opened in the late 90s. The customizations made to this bot were minimal. He lacked his blonde wig as was common during this time, and also wore a party hat. This is the only photo I was able to find of the bot during this time. Around 2008, Beach Bear, alongside the rest of the show, would be removed and sent to a family entertainment center in Canada called Scandia Golfing Games. We have multiple videos from this era that give us a good look at Beach Bear, and we see that he's not in too good of shape, with the most noticeable issue being that his left leg is propped up on the surfboard, though I'm still not sure why. The mask is also sunken down a bit, making it look strange. In terms of movements out, the arm twist and at least the left leg are not working. There's more footage, but the bot is in the same shape as far as I can tell. Between 2019 and 2021, the show would stop running, and Scandia claimed that it was being restored around 2022, though this would be halted due to a vandalization that led to multiple of the cosmetics being stolen, including Beach Bear's mask and head fur. By early 2023, the show would be removed and sold, with said group who purchased the bot splitting it up, selling off the characters to multiple different people. One of these people would be Snow, who would purchase the character in late 2023. In early 2024, he offered to trade the character off for specific bots, and seeing an opportunity, I decided to trade, with him receiving my Rolf and Earl and me receiving his Beach Bear. This trade would happen on April 4th, 2024. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to a look at the character in its restored state.
And here is Beach Bear. So obviously he's not fully restored in terms of like, all the cosmetics and stuff. There's still some issues with a couple of these, especially like this foot still needs some work. But again, what I really mean by restored, just like I did with Duke/Pasquale, is that he's fully mechanically restored, as far as I can tell at least. And you may be asking, why did this take longer than Duke/Pasquale's when Beach Bear was not in as bad of shape? In fact, again, he was in fairly good shape when I got him, at least compared to Duke/Pasquale. And the reason for that is because, honestly, let me just explain real quick. So if we go down here, we have these two legs. Now, I ran into an issue with them where I was not getting them to go fast enough. And I was comparing to like other shows to make sure, that this was normal, and not really. Like, for some reason, his legs were just not moving as fast. And we kind of determined that it was the hosing, that I just needed to swap out the smaller hosing, because there's basically two main sizes. There's 1/8 outer diameter, and there's 1/4 outer diameter. And the legs, at least mine did, I don't know if that's the case for like all of them, used 1/8 outer diameter. And I just don't think it was like allowing the legs to move fast enough. Again, they move fairly quickly in actual shows and stuff, and so I made the decision to upgrade the hosing from smaller to larger hosing. And you can see here this yellow hosing is all the new hosing, that it is complete. It is, again, he's fully mechanically restored. This is really what took the longest. That combined with, obviously, I did take a break for about a month and a half a little while back. So that definitely contributed to the delay in getting him restored mechanically. Those were the main things. And if you're wondering, okay, why did it take so long to get the legs, working and stuff like that? They worked, but the issue was that they continued to have issues with air leaks. And, I was having to like troubleshoot different issues, figure out how to do stuff. And eventually we figured out, with the barbs that we could just do some precautions in order to seal them fully so that they did not leak air. And some of them was just really simple stuff, like getting a hose further along the barb. You can see here, these barbs are fully on, or at least just about, compared to before where they were maybe only halfway on. And, that just does not work well in this case. So, again, yeah. That is now fixed. There are no air leaks, as far as I could tell at least, with the bot. Which was the case before again. These air leaks really only popped up when I changed over the hosing, because I did have to add new barbs, both to the actual cylinders themselves, and then also the quick disconnects down here needed new barbs for that as well. So, yeah. Now, I still do need to actually organize this. I had to cut some zip ties in order to get the old hosing out fully. So, yeah, it's still kind of a mess back here, but it does work. And I'm pretty happy with how he is right now. I think the main thing is I'm still not quite sure on the strumming hand. It does work, but mainly just finding the right flow adjustment. But every movement on him works. Any movements that were acting strange or having like small air leaks, like I know this guitar slide cylinder had a small air leak at one point, but we have fixed a lot of that. I think a lot of it, honestly, and I've noticed this just rebuilding some of these cylinders, is that there was definitely oil in them. And if you're confused about that, some shows, I don't know if it was many, used an oiler basically to lubricate these cylinders. And I think that is actually like done more bad than good, because I think it was causing issues with these cylinders. So yeah, not a great thing. There are still some cylinders I haven't rebuilt, but I don't think it's affected every movement, but there are definitely some that were affected by it. Some work perfectly fine. Everything here works fine, so that's good. Again, even though he's fully mechanically restored, at least for the most part, I think, there are still some things that obviously, no, he doesn't have. He still is missing a lot of his cosmetics. I don't have a timeline yet, but I am in the process of getting some cosmetics. It's just gonna take some time. And then there are some other things. Like I do want to replace these eyelids at some point. They are a flat orange color, and I would like them to be more like Duke/Pasquale's, where they're more subtly just have shading to them, not just this flat color. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this part. Now, I do have a performance I am going to be posting the same day. I'll actually have it linked here, but yeah, if you want to see the bot fully restored in a performance, you can watch it there, but that is going to do it for now, so let's go ahead and go to the outro.
Thank you guys for watching this video. As I just said, if you want to see the performance of my beach bear mechanically restored, you can watch that here. Anyways, my next video is going to be going over the only 3 locations that existed in Rhode Island, that being the Chuck E. Cheese locations in Warwick. There's multiple unique things to discuss with this area. You'll see what I mean next week. If you're interested in seeing that, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you're notified when it drops. If you want to find me elsewhere, I've got an Instagram page linked in the description down below. That's going to do it for now though, so God bless, and I hope you all have a blessed day.